Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this special edition of YBMcast. We have with us today in the studio, we got a big crowd here. We're talking with Coach Tony Perkins from Francis Howell High School. Coach, first of all, I want to congratulate you on the district title. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Well deserved. And appreciate you joining us. As always, I got Matt Shadow over here, Kevin Moulder. We got some discussion, kind of talk about the season and how you're looking forward to the playoffs, Matt.
Yeah, Coach, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
I would like to reiterate something that we discussed before, that Kevin and I picked you to win the district, and Brian did not. So kudos to me and Kevin. Thank you. Now, obviously you've been on the show a lot, and we talk baseball. And one of the biggest things that you always talk about is your schedule. Prior to the season started, you said, we'll be battle tested. We're going to play the best we can play. Let's go 500, get to the playoffs, take our shot. Obviously, you didn't go 500. You had a very nice record. You had 30 wins, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So with that, how much did the schedule that we discussed prior help you when you get into a district like this, when you've got to play a Troy, a Zumwalt South, and then a Zumwalt West?
Yeah, it's a grind. I mean, we talked about it before in preseason about how I'm playing best teams in the state and out of state when you throw Edwardsville in there. But, you know, one thing that they get battle tested. I mean, there's nothing we have not seen. And the thing that really is standing out to me about this season is the number of lefties we've seen. I mean, throughout the whole season. And then, you know, you go through the postseason and it's just lefties. You know, and it's nothing we have not seen. I mean, we have seen some outstanding pitchers throughout the season. We've competed well. Our kids have grown. You know, and like I said preseason, I think we're dangerous, and we are dangerous.
You won your district.
Yeah.
You're definitely dangerous.
That was rough. That was a rough go. I mean, you look at some of those districts, you know, they don't throw their ace till the third game.
Right.
They're able to do that because of their level of competition. In our district, for the first time I've experienced, nobody threw off the first game. Everybody's guy was going on Monday, you know, so it was a tough district, and we were fortunate enough to win it. And
you did see two good lefties in your district.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Yep.
One of the things about the schedule you play, and you're in a couple tournaments where you're playing 5 games in a 2-day span. I think back to that Columbia tournament. You go back to the Midwest Classic at the beginning of the year. You got the Troy tournament. So you're testing your pitching depth. I think one thing we were certain about, or felt pretty good about heading into the season, at least from afar, you have a really nice lineup. You have, guys going to certain places, Mizzou or Missouri State or whatever. But you did lose a lot of your pitching staff last year. How important were those tournaments to kind of find your pitching staff? And you've kind of found some pretty good depth in your pitching staff, and it looks like you got 3 guys with Breckenseed, Naputi, and Rouser that kind of lead the charge in innings, but then you got a number of other guys with 10 to 20 innings, so you got some depth built up there.
Yeah, we had to. And you referred to that Columbia tournament. I mean, to me, that was really a turning point for us. And to speak of the depth, that you had to have depth. And we played 5 games in 2 days, and we cleaned the slate right there with our depth. And that showed up late, like on Saturday when there was, we played 3 on Friday, we played 2 on Saturday, but we still had dudes. I mean, guys were going out there and throwing strikes and pitching a little bit, where other guys are like, man, we're done. We're throwing our second baseman. That's all we got. He's 72. It's like, okay, welcome to it. But yeah, you like you referred to, you have to use the guys with the number of games that we play, and especially in a tournament situation, like 5-6 games a week or whatever it is. I mean, you got guys that you need to get out there, So I have to have at least 12, and I'm guessing I probably threw 14 guys this year. So, but get them up there and see what they can do, and if they don't, not any good, you go to the next guy. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, clearly it worked. But another big thing for you has been the offense. You've got some depth. You've got some big bats. You've got McCutchen, Sissel, Norfleet, Naputi, just to name a few. Talk to us about how well you guys are swinging the bats, and because right now it's a really difficult time to score runs because you're seeing good arms.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't really seemed that difficult for you guys. So hopefully, on your sake, you can continue to keep the hot streak going through.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. I mean, once you win districts in Class 5 and 6, you got 8 days off. That's rough. Yesterday, I strapped on the umpiring gear and got behind the dish, and we scrimmaged. That's what we're trying to replicate games right now. Yeah, we've been hitting it. It's been good. And what's really been key this last week, especially in the district tournament, was our 7, 8, 9 guys. I mean, they came through. Caleb Miller, who's really starting to got hot. Yeah. You know, he's been my nine-hole guy, and I'm not moving him. I mean, if he gets on base and gets to the top of the order, I got a chance to score. You know, Aiden Rogers has been hitting the ball pretty well. I mean, even Brady Wilson's been, those are 7, 8, 9 guys. They've been coming up with some key hits. Brady Holtman's been hotter than firecracker. I mean, those are guys that people don't talk about, but have come up big for us throughout this last month or so. It's just been really good. Just joy in the ride.
Well, normally when you score runs, I don't want to say it's not the big name guys normally that really contribute a lot, because if you only got 4 guys hitting, when the rest of them come up, what happens? I mean, it's really hard to score 6, 7, 8 runs in a game with 4 guys.
Right.
So to your point, yeah, I mean, it's the other part of the play, the other part of the lineup has to contribute in some way, and they are.
Yep. And that was, I have to say this, that was a majestic shot that Norfleet hit against South.
Yeah,
he hit it over the scoreboard there at Troy, dude.
Yeah, he's got 9 of them.
It was a bomb.
He's not a small person.
No.
One thing I like about the offense, as Coach knows, he's got guys that can change the game with one swing. Like Matt indicated, like you see this in Major League Baseball in the postseason. It's hard to get 3 or 4 hits in an inning to score a run. When you got a guy like a Norfleet that can change the game with one swing, that makes a difference. And he's got like 27 extra base hits this year. McCutchen has 25 extra base hits. It's nice when you can score from first base on a hit, or get a guy that can create a run. And the other thing I like is you kind of have a pick your poison type thing going, because you got enough physical bats in there, but you also got a running game. So if you start flipping in nonstop breaking balls or don't pay attention to the runner, you're starting those runners. And if you worry too much about the runners, then you're hanging a breaking ball to one of the big boys and they're putting one in the gap. Is that kind of a philosophy that you
Absolutely.
guys kind of...
You're spot on. You're spot on. I mean, our guys, we have a lot of doubles and triples, especially at our park, because it's so big. That's why you see all the extra base hits. Norfleet's got, 5, 7 triples. I mean, he's a big dude, and McCutchen, he just broke our hit record. That got away from me in the district championship game. Kyle Grantham had it in 2016, 60 hits, and Jake went 3 for 3 in a championship game, and he's got 62 now. And really, that's 3rd all time in the Michigan record book. I was alerted to that one too. So that's all those guys. But you're right about the depth and protection. I mean, I was worried about that at the beginning of the season. Like, who's going to protect Jake? Who's going to protect Norfleet, or who's going to be that guy? But with Naputi right now, it's Jake and then Bryson Naputi and then Norfleet. And so we're rolling right along. And then you throw Leo Humbert in there at 4th. I mean, they're protecting each other, and they feed off each other, man. I mean, if you get a couple big hits, man, it's just like sharks in the water, man. They're going at it.
Well, I'll say this: McCutchen better enjoy that hit record for the next couple of years, because there's a good chance Leo might run him down with 4 years of starting on varsity.
Yeah, Leo's a little puppy right now, but he sure is something else. He can hit. Good kid.
Wow. Yeah, 392 as a freshman. So you got Howell Central. on Saturday, which is pretty much a blood rival, I would say. You played them twice earlier in the year, and played two really good tight games. You came out on top both times, one in a 7-6 game and one in a 1-0 game. Talk to us a little bit about the matchup.
Well, that Rubel kid is awful good. He's the one that concerns me. You know, he's a lefty too, but that was the 1-0 game, and Norfolk hit a bomb in that game and allowed us to win that ball game. But Beckman's done a good job over there, man. They're playing well, and they got in the right district and got out, and they're one step away from the Final Four too, and we're going to try and stop that. They got, the kid who's really hitting for him is Aiden Hernandez, and he plays on that prospects team, so I've seen him quite a bit. And he's really having a great year, and Jaden Jones and some of those other guys, they're putting together a pretty solid season. We had our all-conference meeting last night, so, you learn stuff by just sitting there listening to. I think it'll be a great game. I mean, Naputi's going to go for me, and that'll be lefty versus lefty again. And Naputi is such a competitor. I mean, he wants the ball, and when I go out there to talk to him, he's just like, I'm good, coach. Let me go. Okay, that's all I need to know. See ya. Go get him.
Well, Howell Central is that team that we've discussed all season that I've pointed out. If you put it on paper, they're really not going to scare you. But early in the year, we were watching them play, and we're thinking, they're grinders. They're winning games. They're staying in games. They were kind of hit and miss at the beginning, winning a couple, losing, winning a couple, losing. But it was that team that before districts started, I said, that team and Holt were the two teams that I said you don't want to play in districts because they can beat anybody just from sheer heart, staying in games, senior leadership.
They got Harris back too, though.
Yeah.
And that's a big pick-me-up.
That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now you take that and make it a Howell Central Howell game.
It's going to be a big show.
This is
it's going to be dramatic.
It's going to be the stands are going to be rowdy. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be similar to last year, I think, districts finals with Zumwalt West.
Well, that was a quarterfinal
game. Yeah,
it was.
They said in that quarterfinal game last year there was 1,100 people at our game. I foresee that being more. When the link went live to get tickets, you got to get tickets from the Mr. site now. They said that there was 147 in the first hour. So get your tickets and get there early, fellas and girls. And
there
boys.
is no sellout, right, Coach? You just keep selling tickets. We'll put people in
That's
left
right.
field.
We'll just stack them down the line, baby.
Okay, good.
It was like that last year.
Yeah, it was great. It's a great atmosphere, and I think this is going to be a great atmosphere. And the best part about it is it's really good for high school baseball in the area.
Yes.
Yeah, Sean Irwin, my AD, is really doing a lot of things. We're bringing a food truck in, and there might be a helicopter landing in there.
What kind of food they going to have?
I don't know. I don't usually get to it.
Snow cone trucks coming?
Yeah, the snow cone place.
Snow cones.
Well,
that has happened. Cone ice.
Evan's going to be there with his kids. I'm going to be there with my kids. Like snow cones, baseball.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to make a playground.
I'm probably, this is one I would love to be at, but I'm probably going to miss it because I want to go see Zumwalt East against Parkway Central.
Got
to. Pulling for Coach Hill and the East Lions that way. That ought to be a good game too, right? I mean, East and Parkway Central is good. So
Parkway Central kind of is an it team this year. I like that group, and Zumwalt East has a good team. We've seen them, and they've been good all season. So that'll be a good game as well.
But guys, Coach, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Taking the time, we appreciate it always.
It's fun.
When he's done with the season, we'll get him on here a little bit more, talk some baseball through the summer, and have some fun.
Hopefully, it'll be good news.
Guys,
he's got
thanks.
a week and a half left.
Folks, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it. Remember, all you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and you hitters,
Hit them where they ain't.
good advice. We'll see you next time.